Buying insurance technology is really tough, but in this short video we're going to look at the top 5 mistakes that people make and how you can avoid them when you're choosing your technology stack. Number 1, they actually often don't know what they need. They rush into making a decision based on some loose ideas of what their business might want. But actually the most successful digital transformation programs are the ones where they've taken a step back and looked at the bigger picture, how this fits into their ecosystem, what functionality they need, and also have engaged all of the key stakeholders across the business to make sure everyone's covered. And number 2 is procrastination. And often they don't make a decision because they're not entirely sure on whether it's the right solution or not. Why is that? Well, it relates right back to number 1, and it's the fact that they never really understood what good looked like in the first place. So how can you reach that conclusion of, it does everything we want it to, if you've never actually worked out what you want it to do? Number 3 is don't get sucked in too much by look and feel. And that's not just the platforms and the software you're looking at, but also the marketing. Loads of people will have really great brochures, really great websites, really great looking systems, but don't let that distract from the fact that what you're really looking for is for something that meets against your goals. When you set out to find this solution, what was it you set out for? What were you looking for in the first place? And how does it measure up to those requirements? That's the thing you really need to look at. Now don't get me wrong, you don't want to buy a system that looks awful, but it certainly shouldn't be at the top of your radar. It should be a secondary consideration once you've made sure that it does what you need it to do and how. Number 4. Buy like you're a seller and qualify accordingly. The problem is not a lot of people qualify their vendors. They look for the basic things like, have they got an ISO standard, or have they got the right amount of turnover or capital expenditure, what do they invest in this, all of those kind of high level things. But actually what you really want to do is make sure that they can deliver what you want when they want for the cost, and that they have a good reputation and that you think you're going to be able to work with them well. Qualify accordingly, make sure they fit with your goals as a business. And for number 5, I'm not saying that salespeople can't be trusted, far from it. But what I am saying is that I think people buy with too much trust. And that trust might be trust that actually things will work out okay. They'll look after me if the worst happens, or I'm sure that's in there. The rule of thumb that I always apply is if you can't see it, assume it doesn't exist. The reason I apply that logic is because you need to make sure that you've planned for a worst case scenario. So if that thing that you haven't seen, that they've told you is in there, but you haven't yet confirmed it, doesn't end up being in there, and they may have told you it really meaning it. It's not that they've lied, it's just that they thought it was in there, or they thought that it could do it. But what you need to understand is if it can't, what does that mean for your business? If it's something that's really important or fundamental, your business collapses as a result of not being able to do it, you really want to double down on making sure they can prove that it does it. It's really fundamentally important to you, and you need to treat it accordingly. So that's my top 5 list of mistakes that I think that buyers make when they're sourcing technology for their insurance business. Are there any that you think I missed out on? Or do you have any views on the ones that I have offered? Please share them in the comments below. If you like this content, of course, smash that like button. If you didn't, please don't hit the dislike button. It keeps me awake at night and no one wants to see a grown man cry. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful. See you on the next one. Well, you're a glutton for punishment, staying all the way to the end, but I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe over here, somewhere. Am I anywhere near it? Not sure. Or watch one of the extra videos up here. Peace! Pretty gangster. Yep. I'll be on that TikTok soon. Definitely.